Hey guys, so today we're going to go over my Shatter Strike Frostbite builds I've been playing in last Epoch for the past couple of weeks. Um, this build is using some interesting uniques here. So we're using these two Hummingbee swords. These are level 6, very low item level swords. Basically give you no damage, but they attack very fast. And it also gives us ward on hit, and elemental attacks deal increased damage per 200 ward, and we can stack up quite a bit of ward on this. We don't really have a lot now, but once we start attacking, we can get up to usually about 2,000 to about 6,000-7,000 ward when we're in combat. This can go quite a bit higher when you get more ward retention. I already don't really have a lot of ward retention on my character right now, so the ward value is a little bit low, but it can go quite a bit higher once you get better gear. Alright, so let's go into the skills real quick. First of all, let's go over Shatter Strike. We are basically going into the repeat, so we get 2 extra recasts, then the attack speed, and then we go to the icicles, or the ice spikes, and then ice spike range, and then the mana efficiency, because Shatter Strike does cost quite a bit of mana. You can see even with the 50% increased mana efficiency, it's still 28 mana to cast, and this will burn out your mana really fast. You can see already out of mana. But Spellblade does have some cool things that you can do to gain mana back while in combat, and we'll go over some of those a little bit later. But the in order to solve the mana problems, of course, we're using Mana Strike. I think pretty much every Spellblade will probably use some kind of mana strike or something to gain mana back. But in this case, yeah, we're just setting it up to gain mana. That's the only point of this ability, is we kind of weave it into our Shatter Strike cast. So like we'll do 2 Shatter Strikes and then Mana Strike, and then Shatter Strike, Mana Strike, Shatter Strike, Mana Strike. And if you can kind of get down a good rhythm where you're able to actually like sustain your mana and the Shatter Strikes. Alright, so we just go for the mana, more mana on hit, more mana while out of mana, more mana when you crit, and then extra crit multi or base crit, and we don't have any crit multi, but that doesn't really matter. Enchant Weapon, so these 3 are all kind of set up to give us a little bit of damage in some way, and I like to pop all 3 of them at once whenever whenever they're up, basically, just to get some more damage. So Enchant Weapon, sort of your standard Enchant Weapon, you could say. Maybe you get the attack speed, duration, then we get some extra cold damage here, and then we get a 1 free elemental attack after we cast it, so that's 1 free Shatter Strike. Then we get the icicles. These icicles are very nice since we are stacking frostbite. All of these on hit effects, like the icicles and stuff, they'll all apply frostbite, so it's an extra frostbite stack. We don't really need these to actually do damage. They just need to hit the target and apply shatter, the frostbite. It does also help our clear a bit, because you can see Shatter Strike, it doesn't really have that great of a range, but the icicles that kind of pop out, they kind of sort of help to make up for the bad AoE of this ability. Okay, let's go for Teleport. Teleport, actually, this is one of our biggest damage increases, you could say. Or maybe not the biggest, but very big damage increase, mainly because of the node up here, Frigid Departure. This gives us another 600 freeze rate multiplier. And since we're using these Snowdrift boots, freeze rate multiplier will give us cold penetration. So you can see we are at 1,200 now. If we teleport, we're at 1,800. So we get quite a lot of damage every time we teleport. And after that, it's pretty much just standard teleport with the stun immunity, increased duration, buffs, and so on. Alright, and then Flame Ward. Flame Ward, we are converting it to cold, and we're getting the 250% increased cold damage here. Or it says fire damage, but it gets converted to cold. with this node here, and after that we're just going for the damage reduction and ward retention. All right, so that's the skills. Let's go over some of the passives here. So for the mage, we're just getting a little bit of health, mana, some intelligence here. Intelligence gives ward retention, so want to get as much of that as we can. We're getting 1 point here. I don't really care about this extra ward, the proc thing on this. I just want to get the ward retention and then the attack and cast speed. And in Spellblade, okay, so first of all, we're getting this. This node's very nice. Get 18% elemental resistance and then 30% damage. And then just 1 point here, because we want to grab this here, Freezing Aura. It's just a nice 1 point ability you can get. So our Fire Aura turns to cold, and then we just get a little bit of freeze rate multiplier. All right, so then here, Arcane Warden, we need about 4 points so we can get the Warden's Echo. So this, we got a 40% chance to proc Elemental Burst. We hit enemy with a melee attack, and we don't really care about the damage of this ability. We just want it to proc, so we get an extra Frostbite stack. All right, Arcane Shielding, 5 points here and 5 points here for the some extra defense. Then we get the attack speed and some ward on hit. Okay, here, so this here, you can put more points in it if you need to. This gives you a chance to gain 10 mana whenever you hit an enemy. This is very nice too. It helps with your mana sustain quite a bit. So put more points here if you are kind of running out of mana too often. Alright, and then Dual Wield and Prismatic Blade, just only 3 points here because don't really need added damage on this build. Doesn't really do much for dots, so just 3 points here so we can grab this 10 point node down here for 150% increased damage. And then we get the intelligence and ward, and then we have some more ward per second. So definitely want to stack a lot of intelligence, freeze rate multiplier, and then obviously damage over time and stuff like that. Alright, and Sorcerer, just getting some intelligence, mana, armor, some more mana regen. And then we're getting the freeze rate multiplier, and then some cold pen and cold leech. This node, you could probably take points out of this once you get enough ward retention. However, I don't really have that much ward retention yet. Let's see, let's check it out here. 274%. Kind of want around 350, 400-ish ward retention. And right now, sometimes I will take damage to my life, and then I guess you could always just use a potion, but I feel like the leech is kind of nice until you get more ward retention. Alright, let's go over the gear real quick. Okay, let's check out the idols first. So all of our idols are going to be a chance to apply Frostbite with cold skills. Want all of these. The second node, I guess, kind of get what you take, but this one's really nice. Is chance to get Lightning Aegis when hit. Lightning Aegis is a buff that gives you less, I think you take less damage when it's active. So kind of nice defense. Small idols are just here to fill in some resists. I think I got to change some of these around. Anyways, so that's the idols. Let's go over the swords. We're using the Hummingbee swords. If you want to get a what do you call a legendary? I guess you probably go for the attack speed mainly. I think get some more attack speed because the faster you attack, I guess the more frostbite stacks you get, and then also you get more ward on hit, and you have like a higher chance to proc some of these abilities like Warden's Echo and then the mana gain. So getting a lot of attack speed is probably one of the what do you call it, better stats I think for these weapons. All right, for the helmet, So I was using a helmet before this. Let's just see if I still have it here somewhere. Um, Wait, where did I put that? Okay, well, I was using a exalted helmet, basically with just frostbite on hit and some elemental damage, but I didn't really have enough ward basically, and build felt a little bit squishy, so I switched over to the bone clamor. This helmet's very nice because it gives you dex, intelligence, and ward per second. And let's see, we take it off. You can see that our base ward that we get will go all the way down to about like 300-ish. So just having this helmet equipped gives us like another 300 base ward when we enter a map. Also, the intelligence and dex is actually sort of nice because it gives us a little bit of movement speed from these boots. Okay, amulet, just basically the stats you want to look for is going to be elemental damage over time, freeze rate multiplier, attack speed, and then chance to apply frostbite on hit, or there is some like cold penetration with frostbite, and stuff like that. And yeah, that's about it for the gear. Pretty simple gear. For the boots, you obviously want to get movement speed because these boots don't have any movement speed. Well, it does. It has like, what, 12%. So you are a little bit slow until you get some legendary boots. And I've been trying to farm these. Let me just check this over here. With 518 echoes completed, and still have not gotten one with legendary potential, so I've got to keep farming a little bit more to get that. But that is basically the build. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll try to get back to you. And see you next time.